Hello and welcome to another weekly weigh-in video. This is week 21. I literally cannot believe it. The week's just flying by. So yeah, week 21, and I've tried to film this a couple of times, but I'm just feeling in a little bit of a funk, which is kind of what I want to talk about this week. So first things first, weigh-in this week, and I lost another 2 pounds. Acting Billy Big Bollocks last week, going on about how my pattern meant I should have a big loss this week, and my body thought, you can have 2 pounds, which is fine. It is what it is. It's a loss. I am now dead on 14 stone, which couldn't just give me an extra £0.5, like, just to get into the 13s. Anyway, it's fine. No will be there next week, which is the exciting thing. But yeah, I've just felt in a bit of a funk this week. Like, plan's been fine, nothing's really happened in life, but I've just been being like hard on myself and don't really know why. Kind of thinking maybe that I'm not going as quickly as I should be now with my losses. Am I like stalling a bit? Yeah, I don't know. And it's so weird because like a part of me still has that same desire and drive that I had to get to goal. And like, I know I'm still going to get there, but it's like I'm just beating myself up for no reason. And I was watching some like other vloggers videos and like YouTubers. So like SJ is someone that I have mentioned before on my channel, and she has said before when she was losing weight that she's had a pattern in her life that when things go kind of aren't going great in maybe other areas, she always turns that inwards on herself, and that's something I am so guilty of. And I'm like learning how guilty I am of doing that. So for example, life has been fine, but like little things have not been going how I wanted them to go in like work, for example. And I'm like turning that in on myself, and because there's not much I can do about that, I'm then like picking myself apart and like just pulling at things that don't need to be pulled at, because it's almost easier to pick at myself or try and be like, well, that must be the issue then because I've not lost more weight this week, which is ridiculous. But I think it's in that if you have struggled with your weight, you are generally someone who you can back and have a go at or pick apart, and it's really hard to get out of that habit. And like, I preach self-love. Like I've said from day one, if you come on this plan, you do it with love. You stay on this plan because you love yourself. And I do, like, I really try it every day to love myself, more so since having Poppy, because I'm like, I need to set an example for her now. But guys, sometimes it's just hard. Like, and I felt like this for the last couple of days, like just in a real funk. And I just cannot seem to pull myself out of it. Yeah, I mean, that's a really depressing start to the video. Which is kind of why I didn't want to say anything, because it's almost like I want to put positivity out there and always want to be like driving a positive message and encouragement. But I think sometimes you just have to sit back and be like, you know what, sometimes this is tough. Like, and it's not the food and it's not the plan. Like, the plan is easy. Like, the plan, I've always said, I find plans so easy. That is not what's difficult. But the other night when I felt like shit, I found myself scrolling through Just Eat, just looking at Just Eat, because it was almost like, well, normally when I felt like this, I would turn to food, and I'm not going to go and eat the food. I said to Jem, I was like, I feel like a teenage boy going through a page 3 like newspaper. Like, it's ridiculous the high that we can get when we feel down from food, and that I was always just trying to seek through like looking at a Just Eat page. Like, so embarrassing to like admit and say, but I know if I'm doing that, other people are doing that. And someone left a really interesting comment on my latest post about the scales, about how this whole plan is about breaking down shame, and we have to kind of just face shame head on. And he's so right, because if we keep those things in the shadows and we don't talk about them, we give them more power. So, you know, yeah, it's really embarrassing to sit here and say I've really struggled this week. I was flicking through the Just Eat thing on my phone being like, oh my god, what would I order if I could order something? But I didn't, and I am really proud of myself for that, and not not giving in and going back to old habits. I just let myself be in a bad mood, and I've let myself get to the point where the food craving has passed. So now I'm seeing more clearly what's triggered that emotion, why I'm feeling the way I'm feeling. And I'm kind of letting myself just feel in a bit of a funk. And I don't know whether like the weather's had anything to do with it. I mean, we're British, everything's always to do with the weather, and it has been miserable. But yeah, I just think there's been like a couple of little things happen. And I almost feel like I deal better with big issues. Like big things I deal with fine, but sometimes the little niggles of day-to-day life, those are what build up on us, and it's those day-to-day niggles that make us go and grab the takeaway or the chocolate or the wine, actually more than like the big life events, which I think we all think it would be the big life events, but for me certainly it's just those little niggles of day-to-day life. And I've just had one of those weeks where I've had like little niggles, and I've just turned that all in to myself, which is really unfair on me. It's not fair for me to do that to myself. And it's just making me feel crap. And then, like I said, stepped on the scale this morning, saw that I'd lost 2 pounds, and I was like, wow, that's not great. And I'm like, why is it not great? Of course it's great. Like, I don't get myself sometimes. I'm like, that is fine. Like, you know, I'm sat here today, got a size 14 top on, cotton, no stretch, and like it fits. I feel like crap, but I've still done my hair, and I've still put something nice top on and put makeup on, but that's just a bit too step too far today. So I think sometimes this is me giving myself a kick up the arse, basically, and a bit of a slap around the face, and saying like, sometimes you just need to like let yourself feel bad, yes. See why you're feeling the way you're feeling, but then, geez, you need to just kick yourself back up and do stuff to make yourself feel better. You know, I thought a minute ago, I was like, oh, you know, I'm just gonna go and put a hoodie on and just wallow today. I don't particularly know wallow in what, but just wallow and feeling a bit annoyed. But actually, it's gonna get me nowhere. Actually, get me nowhere. The only person who's gonna pick you up feeling like crap is yourself at the end of the day. So I'm going to pick myself up. I'm going to go and have my coffee that I've made with my shake and go latte, which is delicious. And I'm just going to crack on. And I'm going to hope that I can pull myself out of this funky mood. I'm going to listen to some bangers on Spotify today. Then I'm going to try and get out for a walk, because that always helps. And then I've got my day off with Poppy tomorrow, which I think is going to bring me, I think that's just what I need at the minute. Like, I need a day with my girl to help. But like I said, nothing particularly has happened. So please don't be concerned. But like I said, it's just life's niggles. Life has niggled at me this week. And yeah, that's what's happening. So I'm sorry that this isn't the normal, bubbly, upbeat, the world is a glorious place video. But that isn't how life always is. And sometimes I think I watch those videos when I feel like this, and I just think, off, like, oh, not everyone is like that all the time, and they're not. You get this sometimes, which is like really annoying. I've just seen people running as well, and I'm like, oh my god, just looking out my window. I really want to do something like that. Oh, if you run, I really envy you. I do need to start Couch to 5k, but we've got a couple of stones to go before that. Fair play. Anyway, hope you have a good day, whatever you're up to. Hope you've had a good week. We're on to week 22. I cannot believe it. I also forgot to mention that when I was like, oh, you've only lost 2 pounds, I then actually thought about it for a second, and I've now lost over 5.5 stone, which is over a quarter of my body has gone from when I started plan 21 weeks ago. Remarkable. As always, if you want to start plan, Gemma's details will be down below. Any questions, leave them down below, and I will check in with you all throughout the week. Have a good one.